welcome back to how to do Zhanzhuang or Standing Meditation. We are now in lesson 3 of the video series, and in this lesson we are going to learn how to embrace a ball of energy in front of us and generate new energy in the process. Now this is a typical posture for standing meditation, but apparently it is more challenging as far as body alignment is concerned when compared to what we did in the first 2 lessons. In the first lesson, we put our 2 arms on the sides, and in the second lesson, we place our palms on the belly. So they're relatively easier because when you are placing your 2 arms in front, for many people it's very easy to get the shoulders to become tired and the elbows to become tired as well. And when that happens, it's going to impede the flow of energy because the muscle can tense up, and that can be a problem. So the first thing that we are going to learn in this lesson is how to prevent your shoulders, your elbows, or your arms to become so tired that it affects the effectiveness of the exercise. And number 2 that we're going to learn is that when you place your 2 hands in front, you want the energy to go from one hand to another effectively. So in fact, the corresponding fingers will form kind of conduits for energy to flow. And how we can do that effectively? Number 3, we need the area in front of us to be empty enough so that energy can flow freely. So these are the 3 things that we're going to learn in this lesson. So let's go to number 1. How to ensure that when you raise your arm in this way, that you will not feel tired easily. It is very natural for you to feel tired at the beginning because you need some adjustment, but it is so important for you to understand a secret behind it. That is, when you are placing your arms, you don't raise your arms literally. What you will do is that instead of raising your arm, you place your arms as if on a table. Can you imagine that you are placing your arms on the table? You don't feel tired easily. But the question is, where is the table? In fact, the table is invisible. What you will do is that when you raise your arms, imagine that there is an invisible support from your knees to prop up your elbow, to prop it up. And so, when you have the support below, then you're as if placing your elbows on the table. Similarly, for your 2 hands, the fingers are as if placing on the toes. Now, you need some imagination, but as a general guide, you don't raise your arms, rather you allow your arms to be placed somewhere. And in this case, elbows on the knees and your fingers on the toes. Alright, so this is the first thing that we have to do together. Let's try it first before we go further. So you put your 2 elbows in such a way that it's supported by the knees and the fingers are supported by the toes. So how do you feel? Is it better? Now when you do that, for a lot of people, when they do standing meditation, they tend to raise their shoulders, and again this is going to impede the flow. But when you allow your elbows to be supported by your knees, the invisible support, then it quite naturally goes down. And well, the flow will become natural. So this first thing that you must be aware of when you are doing the standing meditation in this posture. And the second thing that we would like to talk about is how to ensure that the qi energy will flow from one hand to another so that it can circulate around the area in front of us. First and foremost, your fingers must not tense up. So you will observe that your fingers are curved. And then there are gaps in between our fingers. So just imagine that you are gripping cigarettes. Although I don't promote smoking, but that's a very good analogy. So just grip cigarettes in between of them, and then your thumb and your index finger is as if holding a cup. Then allow the fingers to face the corresponding fingers in such a way that the chi energy will flow from one hand to another. How are you doing? Great. Then the third thing is less obvious, because we need the area in front of us to be empty. Then the energy can flow. So we must not stand like a soldier, because when you stand like a soldier, the chest becomes a wall, and it is difficult for energy to move around. So what you do is that you have to curve in a bit. And when you curve in your chest, your back will curve out. So how do you do that? You don't do it. You don't do too much. Because if you do too much, then it becomes hunchback. And this is not what we want, because it will impede the flow. And what we'll do is that you will just bring back your chin. So when the chin is back, then your back would automatically curve outward. And that's good enough. Not too much. Just like this. And you'll begin to form an emptiness in front of you, and the energy will move freely. So 3 things. Number 1 is how to support your arms. And number 2 is to ensure that how the chi energy can flow from one hand to another through the fingers. And number 3 is how we can empty our chest in such a way that the area in front of us is empty, and that the chi energy can flow freely. So these are the 3 things that we'll do when you raise the arm. And just do that when you are doing the exercise, and you'll feel the chi flow smoothly, and you would not feel tired easily. Do it 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. Let me know whatever questions that you have. Enjoy standing, and I will see you again soon in the next lesson. Thank you very much for watching.